Hi guys, I'm Michelle, and today I have a question for you. I'm talking to you, surfer, just as obsessed as I am, who goes out in the lake all year round. Isn't afraid to wear 6mm wetsuits and enjoys being out in the sea. Good, we're on the same page. So tell me, what's the most annoying thing that happens to you in winter? I'll give you 5 seconds and then I'll share my opinion. For me, the absolute most annoying thing is putting on a wet wetsuit. And what about this thing? Unfortunately, this happens to me quite often in winter because I do my session. I get home, rinse the wetsuit with fresh water, and then where do I put it to dry? It depends. Sometimes I put it in the bathroom, much to my wife's great joy and happiness, and other times I put it outside in the garden. Do these strategies work? But it's the only way I have to dry it. Mute! The problem is that if I put it in the house, it's fine. Very often it drips for a long time and therefore it is also quite annoying. But then it sets in. Many hours to dry. If I put it outside in the garden with the humidity that it creates, very often it takes even days before the molt dries, and therefore the times expand a lot. And the big problem arises if in the meantime the conditions arise to be able to make another exit. Luckily, Astral, you have some free time just when the waves come in, or when the wind comes up, or when you simply want to go for another paddle, but in the meantime, your wetsuit is wet. And this is annoying because when you put on a wet wetsuit, you know better than I do, it doesn't slide on easily. And then you still have that awful feeling on you, so it's really something that bothers me a lot. Recently though, I found the solution to my problems. First of all, I want to thank Kite Workshop, one of the most stocked online stores in the world. The English name, but they are Italians. Here you'll find the link, keep an eye on it because the product catalog is huge, and it's right on Kite Workshop that you have the opportunity to buy the Surflogic Wetsuit Dryer. This is the face of the product. As you can see, it might look like a kind of clothes hanger, but with a built-in heater inside. In its simplicity, it's a brilliant accessory that really allows you to dry your wetsuits in 20 to 60 minutes. It depends on the thickness of the wetsuit. Mine is 6mm and it gets a little squeezed in 45 minutes. I find it completely dry. The operation is super easy. It goes to the power supply. Here we have a O connector that gets attached to a plug. You see, here we have the Schuko plug. Attack the connector. And I plug it in. After that, I insert the dryer inside my wetsuit. Now I'll show you in a moment how to do it, and then I press the button to start it. It's very easy to insert, but it's also very easy to attach. As you can see up here, we have a strap with a clip, so I can attach it to pipes, supports, or the frame of your shower. Here, feel free to find the solution. Better. Besides the strap, we're also given a carabiner in the package. So, in this case, it's even easier if we want. Find an anchoring point. Now I'll show you how to assemble it using my typical 6mm wetsuit. Here I have my nice Pro Limit. I've already washed it. It's all fluffy. I take my dryer and put it inside. 1, 2. Then I obviously pass the cables and the zingia for the head. And then the attack on. As you see here, the ganso is all rubberized, so it doesn't ruin anything. And that's how we do the last thing. I attach the VIP here so it doesn't strain the wetsuit.
The wetsuit is perfect.
Now I plug it in. And I press the power button. Now the dryer starts working, you can hear it. It takes the air from here and throws it up hot. In about 40 minutes, the wetsuit will be completely dry. Some advice from me, because I've used it so many times. So, in general, the ideal thing is that you attach the ball high enough that the feet of your wetsuit do not touch earth. This way, you have a constant airflow, which is great, and the wetsuit dries in less time. I won't lie to you, I was initially worried that the parts, the sleeves, the extreme parts, wouldn't dry. But I was wrong, because inside here, a constant airflow is created that somehow circulates the air, so the air also reaches the end of your sleeves. Of course, the air tends to flow downwards, but it does rise a little. In general, I really like this product. I have to say that I liked it a lot, mainly because it solved a big problem for me. I compare it a bit to an electric pump for wings or stand-up paddle. That's another accessory that I initially kind of dismissed, but since I started using it, I can't do without it anymore. Well, in this case, we're talking about a very, very similar accessory. The price of this product isn't, in my opinion, particularly cheap. On the contrary, I would say it's quite expensive, because we're talking about around 180 euros retail. It's a price that, however, in my opinion, it is absolutely justified by the usefulness of this product. In just 40 minutes, I have my wetsuit dry in winter, and that's no small advantage. One reason is that I don't leave wetsuits lying around the house for hours, much to my wife's delight. The second reason is that I can actually get in the water after a very short time with a perfectly dry wetsuit. I relate this to it. A little bit about the electric pump as a concept, because even the electric pump for me was one of those products that I mistreated for a long time. But once I started using it, I couldn't do without it anymore. Well, this Surflogic dryer, for me it worked the same way. I had seen it for a long time, but I never considered it. Then I started using it and fell in love with it. Anyway guys, down below you'll find the link to buy it at Kite Workshop. Moreover, it's on sale now, so take a look. Follow this link for buy it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please like, share, comment, tell me what you think. I'm going to create more content, so see you soon. Hi, from Mikilla.